I love that song. Does anybody relate to that song? But while you're going through it, it doesn't seem like it grows you and it exposes you and that it's good for you and that it's bringing you to your highest joy and the version of you that you really love. It seems painful. It seems like I don't want to be going through this stuff. It just is not for me. And we try to avoid all those things that seem to be uncomfortable. But maybe we should be grateful for them. Maybe we should be grateful for absolutely everything. I really feel like this is a message that in retrospect, everyone says, oh yeah, definitely. I'm so glad I went through all that stuff. And everyone, without exception, when they're going through it, says, no, not me, not again, I don't want it. But there's a place that we can do something very important within us, within our brains, within our response to what's happening in our life, to make ourselves remember the gratitude instead of the pain. To help us to realize that something good is happening here, that God is in the midst of this no matter what it looks like. And not try to avoid the pain, but to be grateful that something greater is happening. Something amazing is being born here. When you give birth, ladies, mothers, when you give birth to a child, at first, right in the middle of that, it's the most pain you've ever felt in your life. And then when you give birth, what pain? I don't remember any of that. All I know is I've got this incredible being in my arms, right, that came from my body. And now I have to take care of this being. We are joined as one forever. And so the pain you went through is forgotten. Or maybe in a couple of months. But essentially, your focus is on that new life, right? Your focus is not on the past. It's on what's happening in the present moment. So in this season of Thanksgiving, I'm reminded of the incredible life-changing power of gratitude. And I think perhaps the simplest, most direct way we can heal our lives and bless everyone around us is just to say thank you. And thank you for it all. Let's see if I can do this. I think I got it. If the only prayer you ever said in your entire life was thank you, that would be enough. Now this came to me like as a new idea a few years back. I thought, this is brilliant. This is amazing. Who came up with this? This is new thought. No, this was written by a 12th and 13th and 14th century a theologian, philosopher called Meister Eckhart, a German. Leonard. No, I'm just saying because Leonard's German. He comes from a great lineage of philosophers and mystics and theologians. And Meister Eckhart was also one of the inspirations for Eckhart Tolle. In fact, he took his name, Eckhart, from this guy. Yes, really. And he was born in the 1200s. He made his transition in the early 1300s. So a 13th and 14th century mystic, philosopher, theologian had this little revelation. Maybe all we need to do is be grateful. Maybe all we really need to do is say thank you. Maybe all we need to do is focus on our gratitude, and we'll get more of that. And I'll show you in a little while here how we've proven scientifically that that's true. But first, the idea of prayer, what's interesting is that Meister Eckhart said, thank you is a prayer. Isn't that amazing? The prayer, if the only prayer you said was thank you. So he's taking prayer and he's bringing it to this idea of gratitude. So thank you is a prayer. So we can turn this world around by rewiring our brains through forgiveness, gratitude, and love. I often like to read what this guy has to say too. We're not going to turn the world around from the outside in. It has to be from the inside out. When we are grateful for everything, then we're going to teach others to do the same. Prayer is creative thinking. So thank you is a creative prayer. It connects us to our God mind, and it brings into manifestation everything good. All the healing, all the prosperity, all the connection, everything that you desire in life is brought about through creative thinking. Basically, the fourth principle of unity is using the power of your mind to create your reality. That's what prayer is. That's affirmative prayer. It's not begging for things to be different than they are. It's acceptance of the way things are, being grateful for the way things are, and you get more of what feeds your soul. You get more of what is good. You get more of what you need in life, what you want, what you desire. Because why? You're being grateful for it. So you're creating more of it. Affirmative prayer, creative mind. It brings into manifestation everything that you call good. Now there's something that I'd like to talk about, this idea of gratitude as a prayer. It's also a way of life. It's not a new one, but I believe it's the most important idea. According to A Course in Miracles, we have only two emotions, love and fear. You've heard that before? Love and fear. Those are our two emotions. That's the range of our emotional state. Every other emotion, every other thing that happens is between those two. Is between love and fear. And so it would really make sense to move away from fear towards love every time. All the negative emotions that we identify are on the fear side. So whenever you're acting out of fear, just notice it. And go to a place where you're grateful for something. Gratitude's an extension of our love. Fear is an extension of fear. It perpetuates anger, the greed, the violence, and it threatens to overwhelm the human race. The good news is, I've come to bring you the good news, is that we can turn this around by rewiring our brains. I'm going to go back to that one. We can turn this around by rewiring our brains through gratitude, which manifests in love. And there is scientific evidence for the effects of love or gratitude on our brains. Being grateful each moment is a far more joyous experience than waiting for something outside to come and make me grateful. I'm grateful now, for what's happening here, what's happening now. What exists right here and right now is far more important than what I think is going to make me happy. If I think something is going to make me happy in the future, what am I saying? I'm not happy now. I'm upset now. I'm angry now. I'm sad. Whatever it might be, that's what I'm claiming. And guess what? I always get more of that. Because I think my happiness is in the future. And it's just not like that. Being grateful each and every moment is so much more joyous. In the never-changing presence of the divine love, which Patricia spoke of in her meditation, there's born blessing after blessing. It's born there. In our state of gratitude, that's where our blessings are born. In our state of gratitude, there's a constant flow of good coming to me and through me. And I give thanks for that. And I give thanks for absolutely everything. So if we're going to look at gratitude as a prayer, we're also going to have to look a little deeper into prayer. Charles Fillmore says, well, this is a new thought. I I think this was the Science of Mind guy. What's his name? Ernest Holmes. I think he was the guy who really focused on this idea. Where your attention goes, the energy flows. Right? Have you guys heard that, you CSL guys? You've heard that many times. So wherever your attention is, all the energy and resources in your life are going to manifest that idea. So where is your attention? What are you thinking about? This is prayer. Prayer is where we focus our attention. Now, Charles Fillmore says that prayer is the most highly accelerated mind action known to man. So prayer is also defined in Unity as mind action, but the most highly accelerated mind action. It's what brings things into manifestation according to thy perfect law. Everything else is the long way around. It's you're battling with your mortal limitations, or you're trying to use your mortal limitations as the vehicle to manifest what you want. Prayer bypasses that. It steps up our mental action until your consciousness synchronizes with the Christ mind. And we always say that Christ is in you, that you have that spark of divinity, that you are the Christ. But that Christ mind has to be synchronized with your human mind, or it won't be demonstrated in your life. Can I talk to them? I want to tell them they have to synchronize their mind with the Christ mind. Answer your phone and tell them, hello, are you synchronizing your mind with the Christ mind? I don't ask you to turn off your cell phones, but if they ring, give them to me and let me tell them something. At least they'll be hearing something important. Is your mind synchronized with the Christ mind? Well, I don't know. I was thinking about the football game. I don't know. Christ mind, my mind, accelerated mind action. I don't know what you're talking about. I just got up. Leave me alone. That's what some of you say to me. What do you mean, synchronize my Christ mind? I don't know. Can't we just sing another song? Tell another joke. But, everything comes from this. If we're synchronized with the Christ mind, then we've given our ego over to the Christ in us. And that's what needs to be demonstrated in the world. Now that everybody knows about it, what's happening? The ego is making its last stand. Its last vicious stand to protect its autonomy, to prove that we are separate and we're not all one. And it will not stand because the Christ mind now is being synchronized with a lot of minds. I'm doing it now with you. As I look at you, I see that your mind synchronizes. It just synchronizes automatically. You go to, wow, maybe I am a lot more than I thought I was. Wow, maybe the Christ does dwell in me. It's not just one person 2,000 years ago. It wasn't just Jesus or Buddha or Lao Tzu or those guys. It wasn't just Wayne Dyer. Who needs Wayne Dyer when you got Tony Cryer? That's my favorite line. All right, we can go home now. If he were still around, I'd send it to him. He understands. Any good spiritual teacher is a great comedian. Anyone you've ever listened to. Because humor really is just collecting information about what's going on around you and pointing out how funny it really is. And we learned that last week. It was just so great. Part of the way of the spiritual mystic is to what? Observe. Oh, okay. This is what's going on here, right here and now. And then collect that information. And then a good stand-up comedian always takes a spin on that information and gives you something unexpected to think about. And it always makes you laugh because why? It's true. You've been in that situation, you've acted that way, you've thought those things, You may have not told anybody you were thinking those things, but the comedian or the spiritual teacher will tell you, haven't we all thought this? And you all laugh and you go, oh, of course. So you've all said, don't bother me with that synchronizing my mind with the Christ mind thing, because I can't do it. It's too difficult. I don't know what you're talking about. It's too much. Can't we go back to, surely the presence of the Lord or something? And that's all great. But surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. And I really want you to say that to yourself. The place where you are appearing in that body form, that's where the presence of the Lord is. The Lord being the Christ within you, your higher self. Everyone has the opportunity to demonstrate, to first get in touch with your higher self, and then learn to demonstrate it. And that's why I'm talking about gratitude today, because we can truly demonstrate our higher self when we're grateful. When we're grateful and loving. That's what synchronizes our mind with the Christ consciousness. So gratitude can have such a powerful impact on your life because it engages your brain in something that they call a virtuous cycle. Now, you've all heard of vicious cycles, right? Yeah. And sometimes you think, oh man, it just keeps spiraling downwards and more things happen and you get into this vicious negative cycle because what you focus on, that's where your energy flows. So what happens with gratitude in the brain, I read this beautiful article in Psychology Today magazine, is that you begin to make new neural pathways. It clears out all the negative ideas. And the responses that you made automatically before, you begin to stop yourself and respond with gratitude. You begin to stop yourself and respond with love and compassion. You begin to stop yourself. At the very least, you say, God is in the midst of this no matter what it looks like. And you begin to develop new cycles of behavior, of living, of responding to life, because there's new things happening in your brain. Now, when you're grateful, it does give you a rush of dopamine. It gives you that, not Russian dopamine, just a rush of dopamine. And that tells your body, this is good. This is what I want. This is not only pleasurable, I feel safe, I feel comforted, I feel connected, I feel one, I feel taken care of, I feel prosperous, I feel loving, I feel giving. Now I have something to give to you because I feel it inside. It's not empty, it's full. It's full of that energy, that wonderful substance. Everything that I've lived my life for was to give it away to others. And the wonderful thing about it is that it's a virtuous cycle. It builds on itself good virtue. Sounds like a biblical expression, virtue, a virtuous cycle. I thought that was very interesting to me, that a psychologist would use that word, which is generally looked at as a religious or spiritual term. You see that word a lot in spiritual writings, especially in the Eastern tradition. Virtue or virtuous action, mindful action, is one of virtue. Is one of you are caring for others before yourself, or at least loving your neighbor as yourself. But if you don't love yourself first, how are you going to love your neighbor? So we need to practice this mind training. We're training our mind. We're training our brains to be grateful and to express more love, to express more compassion, and to demonstrate our oneness. So I'd like to do that. I would like to take a moment. Okay. I'm going to save that slide. It's just going to sit there for a minute. I would like to take a moment to be grateful to all of you for all these beautiful cards you sent me, of support and sympathy that you sent to me and Liliana this week. These are all so beautiful, and they so lifted me up. Each and every one. Look at this beautiful bird. And the words that you wrote, and all of the wonderful sentiments that you shared with us. They're not just cards. These are expressions of gratitude, and I feel it. I feel it deeply. And I really feel supported by all of this. Peace, grace, love, praying for you. Your mother lives on in you. I mean, all these beautiful, incredible intentions of love, demonstrations of love. So thank you so much for that. I'm so grateful. About a year ago, we put out this gratitude bowl. I just had an inspiration. We were talking about gratitude. And I said, let's fill it up. And one day, we'll read what's in there. Today is that day. All right. So what are you grateful for, guys? Let's find out. All the help I am offered. Thank you for my life and for all who are in it. Thank you for everything. Wow, the subject of today's message. Thank you for something home. Can you read that? Somebody read that for me.
Our something home.
That's what I said.
Our new home.
Our new home. Was that you? I think that was Lily. It is. That's her writing. Thank you for our new home. I'm so grateful. I am grateful for my lives, plural. My 3 awesome kids. For Charles and Myrtle Fillmore. I think I wrote that. Okay, I'm grateful for... I'm grateful to feel grateful. For so much, from a grain of sand to the most glorious of things. Thank you for all that I am. Thank you for autonomy. Can we be autonomous and one at the same time? Reverend Anonymous. Thank you, they found the missing dog of my friend in Colombia. Missing in a city of 10 million people. It's not easy to find your little dog. Thank you for Unity and Tony. Did I write that one? Thank you for Unity on Cape Cod. Thank you for the Sparks program and abundance and unity. Grateful for my life, my health, my happy daughter. Thank you. Thank you for my love, my job, and my kids. Thank you for everything. I love that. That was twice. I am grateful for our church home and this building. The men's team and the new cupola. Well, that was the last job we did, wasn't it? The men's team's more like, well, we'll call somebody and hire them. Can't we just go have lunch? Thank you for everything. Again, thank you for everything. I am so grateful for my awesome spirit guides. Wonder who said that. My awesome spirit guides. For Children's Cove, who help victims of child sexual and physical abuse. One of the organizations that we tithe to. Grateful to have Unity on Cape Cod. Look, there's a lot more. I'll just read a couple more. For second and third chances. and 4th and 5th and 6th and 100th chances. Thank you for divine breath. Thank you for my Unity family. I could do this all day. It's filling me up. Thank you for Jack and Oriana. Woohoo! I am so grateful for this love-filled, kind, caring, spiritual community. Love and blessings to you all. Woohoo! How'd that make you feel? You feeling good? It's amazing, huh? All the rush of chemicals in your body and in your brain. I'm feeling lighter. I'm feeling more connected. I'm feeling healthy. All I did was read a few thank yous, and I'm feeling magnificent. I'm feeling like I could do anything, that I could just manifest my greatest desires and conquer the world. Or at least love the world. I'm not going to conquer anything. But isn't that amazing? Just to focus on what we're grateful for. It has such a powerful effect because it engages us in that cycle of virtuous experience. And I think that is a real turnaround from what we are used to doing. We're used to analyzing and comparing and being in competition and winning arguments or winning that competition in some way, that we forget to be grateful and that we're connected. We forget in our drive to succeed at something, we forget that we have everything already. And I think that's the most important message in all of this, is that we have everything, the whole universe. And each and every day, each and every moment of every day, we are given everything we need to support our highest good. And that's what we can focus on. We can do it. No one and nothing is happening outside of our own consciousness. The greatest news of all, and that's why I did this, the greatest news of all is that you are in control of what's happening in your own consciousness. You are in control of what's happening in your life and in your world. And gratitude is going to put you in greater control. And I would have to say that love, forgiveness, and gratitude are your 3 superpowers. So get out there and be superheroes, okay? I want you to be grateful for everything, guys. Be a blessing to everyone you meet. And just continue to bless this world with your gratitude. I love you so much. Happy Thanksgiving.
You have been watching the message from our Sunday celebration service here at Unity on Cape Cod, providing a positive path for spiritual living. Please join us every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. at 147 Walton Ave, Hyannis, Mass. And visit us online at www.unityoncapecod.org.